It's only after I was 40 that is truth. I just have to tell you the way it is. Only after I was 40 years old did I discover that most people in our world and around me, in particular in Christianity, was simply superficial. I wouldn't have thought as much. I never knew and I never could believe that most people on our planet are shallow or shallow-minded. I would have actually, if anybody has suggested that to me before, as a Christian, as a good Christian, as I thought I was, I would have thought the person who suggested it was being biased, or the person who suggested it was being unfair to other people and was looking down on people and was trying to pull down other people and was probably trying to, exalt himself or be proud. But when you come across reality in real life, and when you have to deal with it on a daily basis, growing up as a kid, most of us are insulated from a lot of the realities that are actually happening in the world, thanks to our parents or our environment. Especially when you're a believer, the church kind of insulates you from a lot of things, a lot of reality that are out there. So you don't really see the real world because you are protected. Just like in my family right now, my kids, they are insulated from knowing how people struggle to make money, how they get to put food on their table. They don't even know where the petrol or the fuel for our car comes from. They don't know how people behave themselves in the workplace, how regular people live. Because most of those things are provided by their parents, all right? So also, and a lot of children are protected from the daily troubles. What is inflation? Why are people protesting? What is the bill for this, bill for that? Most kids don't know that. And we grow up like in that kind of protection, that kind of, isolation and protection from a lot of things. And we remain in it. And that is what gives birth to illusion. So you begin to think that the world is actually the world that you grew up in, that is the same world everybody is growing up in. And you begin to think that the way you think and the way you are, that is the way every family and everybody else is. But this is just the elementary form of it. This is just the elementary basic example of how the world we live in, our environment, our church, our families, insulate us from, some of the realities that are really happening. Now, in my own world, why is it that I had to grow up to be 40 years old? And at this point, at 40, I was already supposed to be very exposed. At 40, I was already leading a church of maybe 100,000 people all over the world, maybe more than 100,000 people. I was already, a leader of like 1,000 other organizations, other churches. I was already speaking in in some very important places. I was already a speaker of well celebrated. So I'm thinking, maybe this is how successful people in Hollywood, high profile people, wealthy people, they don't even get to know how real people live. I'm from the down, I'm from the downtrodden, I'm from the down and out. I'm from the poor people, I'm from the ordinary people. So I know what ordinary people are like, but not to the nitty-gritty of it, not to the details of how people are thinking, Okay, for example, whenever I talk to most people about daydreaming, people are not even aware they are daydreaming. People are not even aware of it. What is it? Okay, oh yeah, oh I heard the word, I know the word, but they don't even know they are living daydream life all their lives. Can you believe it that most people that you know, they don't really live? They just autopilot themselves throughout life. Most people you know, they have not even tasted life. People don't. So a lot of people, maybe 90%, they've not even woken up to consciousness yet. Very few people live a maybe conscientious life they do, but a conscious life, an awakened life. Most of them live an automative life, an autopilot life. They live an automatic kind of life. They do things just automatedly. So in the same manner, when it comes to the mind, thinking and functioning in life, most people are just superficial. That is, most people are not deep. Deepness and depth in thinking is a rare commodity. The reason I think I never was aware of this was because at 19, maybe 18, I got serious with life, right? And before then, I was just like every other person, just like all my colleagues that I was just superficial like every other person. But at 19 or 18 or 19, less than 19, gave my life to the Lord, became very serious, but I termed that as serious. And I thought most of, I just need to be serious. So I enter into that life of, developing myself, going to search for the deep things of life. And I just remained there. I just buried myself in there. I went to university. I was digging deep. And I thought the whole world around me is just like that now. So I went to another reality and I just assumed that's the way the whole world is now. But we don't really compare. We don't come out of our own realities to compare what we're experiencing with what is really obtainable out there for others. Now, I'm sure that you are still wondering, what is this guy talking about? Where are you going? Well, I'm just trying to let you know about the rude awakening that I got when I began to discover that most people around me, and at first I used to think maybe these were just people around me. Then I discovered, no, people all over the country are like this. Then I said, okay, maybe only people from the former Soviet Union are like this. Then I began to meet Americans. They were even worse. I said, oh my. Then I began to meet English people, Germans, Scandinavian people, everybody, Africans. I thought, I'm in tragedy. This is a tragedy here. What happened? Then who is running the world? I never knew at that point that only about 2-3% of the people in the world are actually running the world. So actually, the rest of the people, they don't innovate anything. They don't come up with their own ideas. They just repeat. They just follow. They just follow the road that has been well trodden by other people. They don't even do. They just walk. They just carry their body up and down. That's what most of the world, 97% of the world, that's what they do. They just carry their body there, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. They need to wake up, they wake up. They need to go to work, they go to work. They need to eat, they eat. They need to go to school, they go to school. They need to get admission somewhere, they get admission. Why? Because people say that. That's what everybody say. That's what's happening. That's what is reigning. So that's how the world lives. So who is deciding those things? Oh, maybe 1%. So why is the whole world following 1 or 2 or 3%? Because they don't think. We're living in a world that doesn't think. You will not believe it. You will not believe it. In fact, I'm thinking some of you are not even awoken yet to this reality. We are not living in a conscious world. Our world is not living in consciousness. You go to church, oh yeah, we are church members. What do church members do? They jump, they raise hands, oh, they listen to the pastor, they come back home, they are happy, feeling. Everybody just following their feelings. People just walk about feeling. If it feels good, it means it's right. I want that to think. If it feels good, it's right. Sounds a little bit silly, huh? But that's the way the whole world is living. People don't critique anything. How can you critique when you are not even living in consciousness? People don't live consciously. People live instinctively. So there are two ways to live. Either you are living consciously or you are living instinctively. Now, 99, 98, 97% of people in the world, they live instinctively. That's basically, to make it simple, they just live like, follow what feels good, what seems right, what everybody thinks right. They are not judging every step of the way. They are not judging every of their actions. They are not analyzing every step, every action. Jesus came to declare war against this. I love Jesus. First of all, the Old Testament tells us it takes the deep to call to the deep, talking about the depth of life. You think many people live out of depth from the deep? It's a rare commodity, and it's a rare reality. People don't have time for depth, and people don't live from the depth, from the deep. Deep, only deep calls to the deep. Most people are not deep enough to call to the deep. In fact, as a matter of fact, one of the greatest manifestation and proof that people don't live consciously and that they live, I'm not saying conscientiously, I'm saying consciously. The proof that they don't live consciously is because most people live to survive. That is a proof by itself that they are not conscious. Most people don't believe in God. That is another proof that they are not conscious. And even those who believe in God, they take church to mean God. Now, this brings a situation to my mind. Yesterday, a girl, a lady, a woman from one country in Europe here wrote me and said, she's crying and appealing to me, please, I need to talk to you urgently. I'm a single mother. My husband just left. A year now, he has not been back. He's gone to another woman, and for 1 year, I've been struggling here with my 2 kids, and I just need to talk to somebody. I'm feeling suicidal. I want to kill myself. So I thought it was urgent. So I said, okay, please call me right now. I mean, not right now, whenever you want to talk. So she said, okay. She was, she wanted to, get my Skype. So I gave it to her. And so when can you talk? I said, I can talk on Sunday. She said, okay, what time? So I gave her my time. Then she said, I'm going to be in church that time. I said, for 1 year, you've been going to church and you still want to commit suicide. And you are telling me, please, I need to talk to you. Please help me. I need to talk to you urgently. Please, I'm going to commit suicide. To talk to me. I gave you 3 hours limit. I said, either this time, 3 times, 3. All those 3 hours, you are not going to make it. Why? Oh, I was still be in church that time. I was still be in church that time. Wait a minute. You've been going to the same church, not missing any service. And you still want to commit suicide? Now you need my help. And I say, yes, I'm available. I will not go to church. I will come and attend to you. Oh, no, I must be in church. Maybe, is there any way you could, any time you could find? I said, I said, I'm going to be with my family this time, but this is the time I can make it. Oh, no, but this time I cannot make, I will be in church. That time also, I cannot make, I will still be in church. What about that time? Oh, I cannot make, I will still be in church. So, and then get deliverance there now. Get delivered from your suicide thought there. Why do you need me then? You don't have time for the person who will help you, but you have time for church that you just, because she is thinking, if I miss church, God, it means I'm backsliding. God has hated me. God will hate me. He will kill me. If I don't go to church, so it means if I don't go to church, I've denied God. Cannot miss church. And it has not helped you. So why are you going there? But I must go to church, today is Sunday. Ooh, okay. You know, what is that? People don't think. If you have been watching our videos and maybe you enjoy them, maybe you don't enjoy them, but still, we need you to help us spread the word. And for that to happen, we only need you to take 5 little steps. Please help us spread this word by liking the video. Then, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We also need you to press the notification button, and the way to do that is to click on the bell. You see the bell there? Click on it. Then, of course, leave your comments. Let's know what you're thinking about each video. And finally, we need you to go and share the word. Share this video on your Facebook timeline, on your Instagram, and every other platform that you have. All right? Let's win the world for Christ. Thank you so much.